There are 7 mistakes that are killing people's IELTS score, and I keep seeing people repeat them over and over again. So if you want to get a band 7 or above and you don't want to make these 7 common mistakes, then continue watching this video.
Now, mistake number one is not answering the actual question. A lot of people tend to do this because they want to sound perfect or they're too nervous, right? And the best way to avoid this is to underline keywords in the questions, so when you start writing or speaking, you are directly addressing what you're meant to be addressing. So the mistake number two is not being able to manage your time efficiently, especially for the writing part of the test. Now, the best hack to avoid this is to try to give task 1 20 minutes, task 2 40 minutes, and during your preparation phase of the exam, you want to try by all means to practice under timed conditions. Now, before we move on to mistake number three, please consider liking this video if you're already enjoying it. Now, mistake number three is mispronunciation of certain words. Please do not confuse this with accent. Your examiners are not looking for you to sound a certain way. However, you need to pronounce some words with clarity. And in order to improve your pronunciations, I would encourage that during your preparation stage, you want to focus on intonation and word stress. The other thing that you can do is listen to phonemic charts you can find on YouTube any time of the day, so that you familiarize yourself with certain clicks and sounds in the English language. So, mistake number four is a very tricky one, and this is speaking too little or giving too vague answers. A lot of people try to sound straightforward and direct by giving either one word answers or one sentence answers, and the best way to avoid this is by trying to add reasoning, examples, and comparisons. For example, if you're being asked about your hometown, you'd also add things about it that you love. Now, mistake number four is a very tricky one, but not as tricky as mistake number five. Mistake number five is mishearing trap words. These could be words or phrases that signify a change in direction or a change in discussion or a change in feelings, right? So in order to avoid missing these when you're listening, you want to listen as attentively as possible and familiarize yourself with words or phrases that are often used to change the direction of what someone is saying. Mistake number six is also another one that I see a little too often, and I hate this because a lot of your IELTS experts often advise people to do this. And for mistake number six, this is using too fancy or academic language or vocabulary. I know a lot of people want to sound complex and sound like they know English. However, this can lower your band score because a lot of people use these words with no logical sense whatsoever. So in order to avoid this, you want to keep in mind that clarity is way better than complexity, and you want to keep in mind that you don't have to use as many complex words. You just have to avoid repeatedly using the same word. Now, before moving on to the final mistake, please consider downloading our free IELTS cheat sheet in the description box. Now, mistake number seven, I touched a little bit on this in mistake number two, and this is skipping practice under timed conditions, right? So during the exam session, they are very strict with time. 60 minutes is 60 minutes. And people oftentimes avoid giving themselves very strict conditions. However, this creates an illusion that you are capable of doing well in the exam, because then you're not practicing under the same conditions. So in order to avoid this, it's simple. Practice under the relevant timed conditions. Now, if you'd like to see more videos like these, don't forget to click the subscribe button. I'm going to be sharing more mistakes in later videos, and don't forget to download the free IELTS cheat sheet.